When I entered the hospital, we had a younger colleague called Marcus Vinicius, a younger neurosurgeon, who every time we had surgery to perform, would ask for certain instructions, as he was very young. Where to open, draw here, don't go away, sit down, have a rest. But that day he called me to an adjacent room and said, "Look what I did." He showed me a large camera with what seemed to be a small calculator right next to it. I looked and didn't understand what it was. For a moment, it looked like another case of Cruzon syndrome. It was a child. It looked like one. But I asked him, "What is this?" He said, "It's here." He came over. There was a screen, a cover, right? I looked, got closer, and it was there. There was a being there, totally different from a human being. He wasn't an adult. He was like a 7-year-old child. Covered. Here, the hand inside, here, the hand outside. Very calm, at ease. The skull looked like a drop. The eyes also looked like 2 drops. Lilac, not red. White skin, no foul smell. At first glance, it looked like Casper, the friendly ghost, you know, from the cartoon. Looked like him. But I looked, and the being looked at me very calmly, very peacefully. He looked out the window. He looked back at me. Very calm, and I even asked my colleague, and he said, "What do you think?" And we approach it as doctors. If there's bleeding, pain, agitation, if breathing is normal, if there's need for emergency care. So I said, "Okay. Once again, what do you think?" I looked again. It's not bleeding. It's not in pain. It's breathing normally. No problem. Everything's fine. The being looked at me. As I always say, it looked at me with a very beautiful look. Not a judgmental look, not a look of fear. It had the look of someone who understands very well what is going on. But it was a different person, a different being. It wasn't human at all. It wasn't a case of human anomalies. It was a different being. I've been dealing with humans for 46 years, but back then, about 30 years ago, we knew how to tell when it was or wasn't a human.